In partnership with the University of Victoria's Indigenous Education Department, our school workshops crew was back in schools connecting with young learners throughout the fall of 2022. The 2022 workshops were inspired by our teacher resource guide Honoring with a cedar weaving activity facilitated by guest artist Tyrone Elliott. As we came to the end of another semester, John Harris, Elders and Indigenous Knowledge Facilitator from School District 61, facilitated a closing circle.
So I think about my responsibility when I think about how my ancestors came to Turtle Island, how I made my way to Lekwungen lands where I live, and the Art Gallery of Greater Victoria is also on Lekwungen lands. I'm very grateful to be able to live and learn and gather with you all here on these beautiful lands of the Senshaten speaking and Lekwungen speaking people, and think about what art is and can be. That's my role at the Art Gallery, connecting with interesting folks like you all and thinking about what does this concept art mean? How can we feel into that concept in many, many ways? And I really look forward to hearing all of your ideas about that concept. So part of the responsibility of galleries and museums is, I think, to challenge some of the ways that galleries and museums across this nation have been talking about art for a long time now, and make sure that the incredible work of contemporary Indigenous artists, for example, is celebrated and honored. So I'm really honored that we're working with a special guest artist today who's sitting right beside me, Tyrone Elliott. And we're joined by our collaborators, the UVic Indigenous Education students and their teacher, Carmen.
I am really grateful to the Art Gallery of Greater Victoria for allowing us in the Department of Indigenous Education at the University of Victoria to be part of this amazing program. Collaborating with the Art Gallery has been a tremendous opportunity to expand not just the importance of these spaces, such as the Art Gallery, as spaces of learning, but also because we have had the opportunity to go into the schools and work with students from all ages and all walks of life in the immediate school districts and learn together about Indigenous culture, worldviews, and most importantly, about Indigenous art and the importance of art in all our lives. In the Department of Indigenous Education, pre-service teachers work side by side an Indigenous artist or a guest artist from the Art Gallery of Greater Victoria to collaborate in the schools and offer workshops once a week throughout the fall term from September to December in different schools. My participation is mostly as a liaison and as an observer. I have the opportunity to see my students who are taking a course on Indigenous education, which is part of the program, flourish and implement many of the perspectives that the curriculum calls for, such as the First Peoples Principles of Learning, the calls to action from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, as well as with the 9 standards for professional practice.
Our Indigenous education class recently got the opportunity to work with the Art Gallery of Greater Victoria and artist Tyrone, who did cedar weaving, and we collaborated to do workshops at some of the local schools. Our particular group that I was in, we worked with a grade 5 class and helped facilitate a workshop alongside Tyrone and his cedar weaving. So Tyrone came and spoke to our Indigenous education class about his art, about his process, the history behind it, the culture behind it, and that was a really great piece of learning for all of us in the class to have that knowledge before going into classrooms, before tackling these kind of subjects with students, and to be able to take that and apply it into lessons, whether that be making the connections that he gave us to art, making the connections to identity and self, and using that knowledge to complement the work he was doing in the schools was really powerful for us. And it also helped give us a lot of confidence to have that background knowledge, because we learn a lot about the Indigenous ways of knowing and being, First Peoples principles, and to be able to kind of have more substantial information, to be able to talk with and to work with and work off someone who really has an in-depth take on that knowledge, who lives that knowledge, was really, really impactful for a lot of us and really helped boost our confidence going into the classrooms to be able to apply that knowledge with students and really make it meaningful too.
Our group ended out at Quelset up the peninsula, and my experience of it was we had an awesome time. We really enjoyed working with Tyrone and Jen and John on the project and getting into the classroom and getting our hands on some work and getting to work with students. It's not a thing that has happened too often in the program, and I think it's something that all of us want a little bit more of. So I really appreciate the opportunity to go and do that. I also really appreciate the opportunity to work with an Indigenous community member on like a project like this. It's something that I have been hesitant about because it's something that I don't want to get wrong. And often that feeling, I think, for students and new teachers deters us from making those connections and trying to bring teaching and learning like this into the classroom. It really taught me how easy that is and the resources that there are out there for us to put ourselves out there and try and collaborate to create like meaningful learning opportunities.
My name is John Harris, and I'm from Snuneymuxw First Nation. I was born and raised on the beautiful lands of the Lekwungen peoples. Very grateful visitor on these lands, and my life, my practice has been enriched by people in these communities for years. So many elders, and community members, knowledge holders that I bring into the circle with me wherever I go. I really honor their teachings and the knowledge and wisdom and generosity that they share all of those gifts with. And so I want to just acknowledge that as well. And it's great to be back here with all of you, like I said, to close the circle in our journey together throughout this term. And really grateful for all of you to have had this experience, because I think that some of you reflected on the fact that you were really nervous about bringing like Indigenous education or artwork into your practice and into the work that you were doing. But what I try to remind people of is that Indigenous people don't have the privilege of choosing what they're gonna do, right? We live in a society where we are expected to operate within the parameters of that society. So when people say, I feel uncomfortable or I'm afraid of making a mistake, that's fair, and that's a natural human reaction. But I try to remind people that doing something is better than doing nothing. It takes all of us, truth and reconciliation takes all of us to advance the work and move the work forward. And so I appreciate that you've all had this experience where you've had an opportunity to bring that in a meaningful way. I think the arts are just an amazing way to bring in Indigenous pedagogy and practice. It's an area that's so interdisciplinary that you can really bring it in for so many different areas.
Steve, cedar place, but before that, and I guess some great questions is what is art?
It's everything is art. It's like most things are creative and stuff.
That's exactly what I was trying to get right, dismissed. Yeah, the way that we think about art and what affects art and what doesn't, I think it affects how we view the world, honestly.
Thank you all so much for participating with us today. We hope that you learned about the Circle of Courage and you'll kind of take that with you and realize that all of these values are very important and how they fit into your own life.
It was really nice to observe how all of you conducted yourselves with respect, paying attention, and really focusing on the values that were shared by UVic students?
We learned how to make bracelets out of the cedar and like grass. It was very hard. But like so we had to do it several times. But I think that, especially watching him, it gets easier to more often.
We learned about the circle and how important it is, and broken circles are very good.
I'm going to share a song with you all. This is a song that we have permission to share at our school district. It's always really important when you share a song to acknowledge where the song comes from and who gave you permission to sing that song, because there's songs for many different reasons. And there's songs that belong just to my family, there's songs that belong to our community, songs that belong to our school district. And so we do have 5 songs that we've been gifted from different song composers from different nations representing the 3 island nations. And the one I'm going to share is the Gratitude song. And this song was composed by Elder Jessica Salt from New Channel. She's been working in education for many years in our community, and she gifted this song to us through ceremony to be able to share with staff and students in our school district. And all of you, I understand recently they have had an opportunity to work with students in our school district, all of you. So I want to share this song with you of gratitude. This gratitude song says thank you in the 3 island nation languages. So in Channel, Kwakwak, and Kwakwala is the language, and Coast Salish language family. And also says thank you in English. Jessica composed this song at the end of a wellness retreat she was at, that she was just feeling so grateful for the medicine of the retreat and all of the good energy and good feelings that she left that event with, that she composed this song out of gratitude. She's included a part at the end of it where you stand up and you spin around once you bang the drum 5 times. And that's to honor the need for children to get up and move their bodies, especially when standing in a circle for a long time, so they have opportunity to get up and move to the song. So